Hello everybody, it's Wendy and I'm here today with Jesse James Beads, and we are going to make a a bracelet to match this cute little pair of earrings using products from the June Magical Mystery Bead Box, which I absolutely loved. So first of all, our encouraging word for today is people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. And that was Earl Nightingale. Totally makes sense, right? All right, so here we have it, these super cute little, I love these Southwestern style earrings. I love this month's box. I thought it was really, really cute. I love the Southwestern style. Yeah, it was just very cute. This chain is absolutely adorable. This leather is beautiful. And so here today we're going to make the bracelet to match. So I'm going to be using another piece of the leather. Now I've got mine measured. Let me look here. I don't even know. I just measured it around my wrist. It is like 5 3/4 inches. Okay, and the reason that I'm just going to make it wrap once, it's not going to be like a multi-wrap, but I wanted there to be enough room here, enough of a gap here to put my closure. So I've got my lobster and a ring for this to clasp onto. I have a ring for this lobster to hook onto the leather with, okay? So you need to figure in the length there. Now, if you want it to be loose, that's different. I don't want mine to be loose. I want it to be, you know, to fit fairly tight. So we're using that. So you'll have to cut your leather to fit you. I'm using this big oval focal bead. I am using some of the chain from the box. I'm using a ball head pin, an eye pin, one of the little turquoise rounds, and 2 of the turquoise chips from the box. I will be using, if I can find it, what did I do with it? Yeah, some GS Hypo Cement glue. And I have 2 jump rings here, just 6mm jump rings. And I think that's everything. Oh, one thing I do have is a leather punch. If you don't have a leather punch, you can use a beading awl. You can punch a hole in it with the beading awl, just like we did on the earrings. But I found my leather punch, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it today. And I think that's everything, except for your, you need your regular jewelry tools too. So gather up your stuff and we'll get started. I'm grabbing my tools. There we go. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is cut our chain. So, well, actually, the first thing we're going to do is make our middle link here. So I'm taking this big stone here and just putting it on my eye pin. And all I'm going to do is make a regular loop, okay? So I'm just going to, and I want to try to make this loop lay the same way as this loop. So I'm going to bend it straight down 90 degrees. Now, if yours doesn't, you can always twist it to where it will. It's not a big deal, but I'm just going to try to make it do that way in the beginning. Cutting just a little bit off. And then I'm just going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to roll this loop right back. And now, as you can see, both of my loops are facing up and down. Okay? That makes sense? Yeah, just like that. All right. So I'm going to lay this in the middle, which is pretty much where it's going to go on my bracelet. And then what I need to do is I need to measure this chain to fit from this loop to the end, okay? But the thing that I have to make sure of is, you can see this chain, it has a loop here, and that loop goes through this little hole on this piece. So I want the whole piece. So let me see if I can get down here and show you better. So this piece that has the flat hole, the flat little loop, not the one going, not this one, but the one that it's looped through. That's what I want to hook on right here on both sides of my piece. Okay, so what I have to do to get it to do that is I have to trim off this piece very carefully. I'm just taking it and I'm trimming the loop so that it just falls off and leaves that little loop intact. See that little loop there? Yeah, it's intact. So now when I go to hook this on here, it will hook in the right way. Actually, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's just open this up. hook this little guy right in like he's supposed to go. And close this back. Okay, make sure this is closed up really good, because they definitely will slip out. Okay, so here's what we've got, right? Now I've got to do the same thing for the other end. So I want to get this in the middle, as much as, you know, as close as possible to the middle. And I'm going to trim this chain. And what I want to do, if I can, is I need to trim it again to where it's that little piece that lays down, which I'm not sure that's going to work. I may have to turn my jump rings the other way, because it's just it's a little tricky to get it trimmed right. Yeah, because this one, if I, yeah, no matter how I do it, it's going to be the opposite loop of what I need. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this off right here. So I'm going to cut the loop. And you just have to do this gently so you don't end up cutting the loop that you need to stay intact. Okay, there we go. Did I get it? No. Okay. And I'm mingling this one up, but it's okay because it's not going to be usable after I'm done doing this anyway. This one little link. Oh gosh, this wasn't so hard off camera. Okay, let me. It doesn't help that I do not have sharp cutters, because I have figured out that I'm extremely hard on cutters for some reason. I mean, I don't know if it's because I make jewelry all day, every day, or if it's because I'm just rough with them. I don't know. I don't cut memory wire with my regular cutters, so it's not that, but I don't know. I'm rough on cutters, so I always have dull cutters. They're just never sharp, because I go through them like, I don't know, like a lot. Okay, so I'm just getting this off here. It is possible, I promise. There we go. Okay. So, laying my leather back down. Flip that over. And, okay, that looks about right. So now I'm going to take this, and I've got to find the flat part on the other side. The flat little, so there it is. So I've got to cut this one off, this top one. There we go. And just like I did on this side, I'm going to hook it through here. You just have to make sure that it is laying the right way. Okay, so if you got this one laying with the, see, you want to make sure that they're both laying with the little white enamel parts up. Close this back up. We may have to do a little finagling with the jump ring on the other end, but that's okay. Okay, so here's what we got. Lay down. We have got this piece, and now I'm going to stretch this out, and I'm going to cut it just like I did this other one, right here. And we're going to have this piece too. Just like that. Okay, so there it is. And that is pretty much exactly even. I'm going to lay that aside. Now, what I want to do is I want to glue this stone down, because I'm going to punch some little holes in this leather, and I'm going to hook this on with jump rings, I think. I've not made this before, so I'm just kind of figuring it out as we go. But I definitely want to glue that stone down. Now, I am going to use a little E6000 to glue it down, because I don't know. The GS Hypo Cement will work for the chain, but I'm not sure how well it would work for the stone. I'm looking for my beading awl because my E6000 is clogged up. I've got to unclog it. Sorry, guys. I lost the lid to it like a long time ago, so now every time I use it, it dries up in the tip, and I have to re-unclog it every single time. So I need to buy a new tube, but I don't want to waste this one. I mean, there's still good glue down in there. You just got to get to it. Okay. So I'm taking my E6000, And, you know, you can try the GS Hypo Cement. I honestly am not sure how it would work with this to glue a stone to leather, but I know that the E6000 will work. Okay, so I got a little out here, I think. I'm still trying to get to the fresh glue. Yeah, I really need a new tube of E6000. Okay, I'm going to flip him over. And it's not so much to hold the stone secure on here. It's more just to keep it setting in place. So, you know, it's not a huge deal if it's not totally... what I'm trying to say is really it's just going to set the stone on here and it will just hold it in place and it won't slide around all over the place is what I'm trying to get at. So that's going to need to dry just a little. Okay, so I am going to give this a few minutes to dry, like maybe probably a half an hour to an hour. It'll be set, and then I can work with this and I won't, you know, mess it up. But I do want to let it set for a few minutes. It's not going to be completely dry until overnight. It takes about 24 hours, but you want to push it down on there, make sure it's really, you know, setting good on your leather. And just leave it there, let it dry for about 30 minutes, and come on back and we will finish this. Okay, so while this is drying, I decided that I don't like this, it's too plain. So I wanted to do something to it. So I took the little rondelle spacers out of this mix that came in the box, the Magical Mystery Bead box. And I had these 3 little pieces of the stars left over from where I cut. And I just glued them on those little spacers. And I'm going to glue those onto the top of my stone just to give it a little... I just feel like it needs something. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to put them kind of just in the middle in a little grouping. So there's one. There is 2. And I'm going to do one more right here. So, I don't know, it just gives it, I like it, it just gives it a little something extra and draws those little enameled pieces up into the middle of this stone. Yeah, I like that. So we're just going to let all this dry now. Press those down really good so they adhere well. Let all that dry, and we'll be back in just a few minutes and finish it up. Okay, so we're back and everything is pretty much dry. So what we're going to do is we are going to take our leather punch, okay, or if you have a beading awl or something sharp, you can poke through here. And I'm going to go right down, right in from the very end of it. So just barely, okay? Just, I don't know, a very, very small amount in. Enough to where it will, your leather's going to hold. It's not going to compromise. You're not too close to the end that it's going to break through. But you still want to be pretty close to the end if you can. So I'll show you mine here in a second. Once I get that hole punched through, which it's not wanting to punch out. Why are you giving me issues like this? Okay. Just keep punching if it doesn't want to go the first time. It eventually will go. Okay, so mine is very, you know, it's pretty close to the edge. That's how far I'm doing it. I'm doing that on both ends, okay? Just in the middle on the edge. See if I can get that to poke through a little easier. There we go. Okay. So there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our jump ring. We need one for each end. We are going to open it up. And we're going to put it right through here. Okay, just like this. Both ends. Just like this. am also going to do a pendant to match this. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you need to subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know when I upload that, because it'll notify you. And it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's completely free. You just hit the little subscribe button and it'll pop up that little bell when you do, and hit the little bell button. And you're in good shape. Okay, so here's what I've got. I have my jump ring and my chain on both ends. Now I've got 2 more jump rings here, and I'm going to take these and I'm going to go right through the end of this little star, which is where we cut it off at. So like this. Come on, jump ring, don't tell me you're not going to go through there. These are tiny little holes, but I think it's not going to go through there. Let me find a thinner jump ring. Okay, let's see here. I don't like using real thin ones, but let me try this. These are smaller. They're like 4 millimeter, but maybe they're thinner, which is okay if they're smaller. It's not a big deal, but it's got to go through that hole. Okay. So I'm again going to try to grab it right here. There we go. That goes through the hole, and I'm going through this jump ring just like this. Except for I'm about to drop it. Close it up real good. Okay, and now on the other end, same thing. Okay, so just put this through here and right through this jump ring. And what that's going to do is it's going to secure this, but you know, this has got a little room for movement, which is fine. And when you put it on, this should lay right on top. Okay, just like that. All right, so we're gonna take it now. You want to put both of your rings up like that, okay? And I'm going to take my lobster. I'm gonna hook it on with another jump ring. I think I could hook it directly onto here. Actually, let me see how long this is. Yeah, I've got room to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna hook my lobster on with another jump ring. So I'm gonna just grab one of those. I'm hooking it on the big ones that I hooked onto the leather right there. Make sure everything's closed up good. I'm having trouble today getting my jump rings closed. I don't know why. It's one of those things. There's something every day. Okay, there's that. I don't feel like that one was closed up real good. It's not. Let me fix it. Get it over. Okay. And then I'm going to take my larger ring on the other end that my lobster will clasp to, and I'm going to hook this onto it just like that. Now let me make sure that it's long enough. Barely, yeah, but that's going to be pretty much perfect actually. I'm not trying not to bend this too much because it hasn't been drying for 24 hours, and I just want to make sure that it doesn't come loose until it's, you know, until it's good and dry. But that actually will be okay. Actually, I may hook this on with a jump ring too, just to give it a little bit of extra. I think it's pretty perfect, honestly, but I'm going to do this just in case, because I don't want to pull too hard on it. Now, as far as this little star chain goes, you could take the E6000 or the GS Hypo Cement if you wanted to, and put a little glue on the back of the stars and just lay it down on your leather and glue it down. I don't really want to do that. I kind of like the way it looks when it's, you know, got some movement to it. But, and when it's on your wrist, it's, you know, it should lay just fine. Well, unless it flops over like that, which it shouldn't do. Oh, come on. Don't be difficult. Why are you doing this? Okay. It should, like I said, it should lay just fine. See? But, you know, if you want to glue it down, you can. So here we have this. Now, I'm going to take my eye pin, and I'm going to do a chunk, this guy, and a chunk, just like this. So these are going to match the earrings. Here's the earrings again. And I know I didn't use the bead on the earrings, this big bead, but I'm just doing this as a dangle. I am going to bend this 90 degrees. I am going to take my round nose pliers, grab it in the bend, and come up and over. Rotate these up, and bring this under. Got my little loop here, and I'm going to wrap it. Grab hold of that a little better. And I'm just going around a couple of times, just with a little messy wrap. Okay, just like that. Going to trim it off and tuck it in. Maybe. And then I'm just going to stick it right here on my, I could put it on that one, but I think I want to put it on the end. You can do it however you want. You could even use another jump ring to hook it on with if you want, but I'm just going to put it right on there. And there we have it. Super cute. Matches the earrings like a charm. And see, you could even glue those down if you wanted, but I like them to hang to have a little movement. I just think they're really cute when they've got some movement. So yeah, I really like this set. I love this box. I thought it was so cute. I love the Southwestern theme. Absolutely adorable. And the leather is really nice quality. It's got these turquoise stones and chips in it. It's just a beautiful box. So I will be doing a pendant to go along with this set, like I said. So please subscribe and ring the bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.